Hello friends, welcome. I am happy to let you know that we have uploaded newer changes to the Jyotish portal interface, and that is what I'm going to discuss in this video. The, the basic underlying philosophy of whatever changes we have made and will continue to make in the future also. The whole philosophy is governed by this, that you should be paying more attention to the horoscope analysis and then to finding the related tables like table of significators or other related information for analyzing a horoscope. So in this video, I'll take you over a few of these features that are going to make your task quite easier. We made changes in the natal birth chart, the horary, and we have also added a print option. But in this video, I'm just going to focus on the natal birth chart. And like I mentioned, the goal is to free up your attention so that you may concentrate more on the chart analysis. Now, as a KP learner or as a KP student or as a KP enthusiast, when you are generating a chart, whether it is a birth chart or whether it is a horary chart, you expect certain information within the KP framework to be available to you at all times. So let me just give you some kind of a image representation. So you need the horoscopes, which basically is the cusp chart and the lagna chart. And then another information you need is the signification table, planet signification, cusp signification table, 4-step, things like that. And then you need the dasha. And then last but not the least is the ruling planet. This is the basic information and sufficient information for you to kind of concentrate on the analysis of the chart. So I'll write the chart, then the signification table, then the dasha, and then you need the ruling planet. Now, if these information is available to you at all times, then you can just concentrate on this information and just optimize your time and your productivity in doing a horoscope analysis. So keeping this in mind, some of the changes that we have made in the natal and horary both. Now in this form, you have both the options. The birth chart is there and the horary is there. It's totally free. You don't have to download anything. You don't have to install anything. This is a fully functional. There is no restriction. And it will give you all the relevant information that you need. If you are already familiar with the Jyotish portal interface, then most of these options on this form, I would recommend that you might want to just use the default option. But then there are you have the flexibility to change various values. Like you can change, the finance or the nodes, the mean or true position, and some various other values on this particular form. And now when you hit the show button, then it's going to generate this output. If you look at this output closely, then you will see that there are some changes that I'm going to discuss, but pretty much everything that we discuss over here, that I discuss over here, this is the kind of information, right, that you need, is all available at one glance. So you have the KP, the Bhav chart. Okay, N means North Indian style. So if you select the South Indian format, then your first chart is going to be the Kasp Bhav chart. The flag is going to be S for South. So you have the KP Bhav chart, and then you have the Lagna chart. And now if you scroll, this scroll bar was not available in the previous version. But now if you will see that the South Indian format is also available along with the North Indian format. So one of this change that we thought that we should integrate is, because what happens is that when you're trying to collaborate with someone, let's say you live in Delhi and you're trying to collaborate with someone who lives in maybe Chennai, and the person in Chennai might be have more familiarity with the South Indian format rather than the North. And similarly, in your case, for example, I am more familiar with the North Indian, and I really have trouble looking at South Indian format. It's just a matter of practice. But then we thought that this should not become a stumbling block between people who are trying to collaborate, and especially if you're trying to teach someone. So when you're trying to teach a class, then in many of these tutoring videos, I have noticed that if there are students who are from the North India, and if the teacher is from the South, they tend to use the South Indian format. And when I'm looking at this video, then I have to manually draw it and just to figure it out that what exactly the teacher is trying to say. So in this particular format, you will not have this issue. And then you can also, there is an option to collapse. So if you can collapse these things, hide all the unnecessary chart that you don't want. So the two benefits are there. One is that now you can collaborate irrespective of whether somebody has a more familiarity with the South Indian format or somebody has a more familiarity with the North Indian format. This is a very good option for for the teachers, the KP teachers who are doing all these online sessions. So this is the one good option that we have integrated. You can collapse all these. This is a toggle, so you can collapse and then you can expand. Same is with all other tables also. All these tables you can collapse and you can expand. Now, most of the information that you need is all handy. Like I discussed, that you need the cusp chart, it is there. Then you need the planet signification, it is there. We are going to integrate some more different kind of a layout for the planet signification. I know people have various kind of choices. We are not going to make it unlimited, but maybe a couple of more different formats we will integrate over here. So that flexibility you will have, and that we will slowly integrate. And then you have all the information for the cusp, for the cusp significator, for the planet, including retrograde and some basic information that you need for analyzing the horoscope. And then you have these ruling planets. And then of course the dasha is there. All these sections are scrollable. So let's say if you want to look at the KP cusp chart and then you have to find the 4-step significator, then you can scroll this section. Right. And then you have the KP cusp chart over here and the 4-step over here. And if you want to just match with the dasha, so you can scroll and match with the dasha. So this gives you flexibility to kind of customize the layout of the screen according to your need. And once it is done, then you can just focus on this a particular layout, and then the notes option is always there, so you can write the notes. This is all draggable, and whatever notes you want to write, you can write over. So this will help you increase your productivity. And apart from that, you have the pull the option at the bottom. This, and this is more a conventional kind of a layout. So this is also there. See, in Krishnamurti Paddhati, the mostly, if you have this particular layout, this is very helpful. So that we have tried to integrate over. This is the one of the major changes from the previous. Another thing is that many of you have been requesting about the city, the city not found and things like that. There is a database that we have, where you can search the. It has more than 1 million records, but I know the 1 million records are not sufficient. So then we thought that let's make this whole thing editable, and this is the right thing to do. So now what you can do is that you can manually enter the coordinates, and for that you can go on Google, and let me show you that how you can do that, and why Google is very helpful for finding the coordinate. See, in many other applications, you already find the Google places are integrated, but sometimes the city names are such that are not available on that particular drop down. You have to go on the Google and find it. I'll show you with an example. So when you click on it, going to open in the tab, and let's say that you are trying to find out the latitude and longitude of Allahabad, and in decimal places. That's very important that you keep this in mind, that this latitude and longitude in that form has to be filled in the decimal place. Now, some of the older people, they are not aware that the name of the Allahabad is now Prayagraj, and many of the foreign, I would say foreigners, they are not aware of the correct spelling of the Allahabad. Sometimes the Allahabad is Illaha, right? Sometimes it becomes Ellaha. Sometimes it is Allaha. So for this, the Google is the best. So when you write something like this, I deliberately made a spelling mistake, and Allahabad I wrote as Illahabad, and this is how you have to write: latitude, longitude in decimal. In decimal places is what you need. And Google, you can't beat Google. It's going to come up with the information, and it comes up with the relevant information. It also lets you know, if you are not aware, that Allahabad is actually Allahabad, and then the latitude and longitude coordinates are mentioned over here. So you can just copy this and go back to our form, paste it somewhere, paste over here, and now the latitude is 25.2. We are going to change this. Make sure that you don't leave any trailing spaces. This is the paste, and we are going to city name. We can change from here. We can say Allahabad. And for India, the zone is 5.50. And if you have any doubt about the zone, Google is there, and you know how to search on Google. So this whole particular thing, the country, city, longitude, latitude, all these coordinates are customizable. You have to enter these value in the decimal, and then you can change all this information. Now when you hit on the show, then it will take the Allahabad. So this is one thing that has been pending for quite some time. I have been receiving constantly emails and reminders about it. So now you have the flexibility of doing this. Now, by going to Google, you can, for example, if somebody is born, let's say, in the Fortis Hospital. Now, in the standard drop down that appears on the many applications in the website, the Fortis might not be appearing. So you can always go on the Google, find it, come back to the form, and copy and paste the values and generate your chart. So this is the major change. Now you see the print option is also there, but I'm going to discuss that in some other video. Now if you explore some other buttons like the detail view, in the detail view you find some other tables. All this information is handy for you. For example, if you look at the planet signification, you see there is something called star of sub. This is not the sub. This is the star of sub. And I created a video on this where I explained that in many examples where Shri KSK has made use of the star of sub, which basically means the sublord is deposited in the star of whatever planet, and that signification is taken. So that information is also handy over here. This is something that you might want to explore while experimenting with the Krishnamurti Paddhati. So there's a lot of these tables that you might want to look at, and all these three sections are designed in a way so that you can create a custom layout for you. Similarly, in the footnote, you have all this information on the configuration information, whether the DST was false or true, what is the value for the Rahu and Ketu, whether it is a mean or whether it is a true, because the true and the mean values, they often change the sublord of the Rahu Ketu. So all these informations are there, the Anasha and the ruling planet, and all these informations are handy for you. So as you navigate more, as you browse more, as you look at various options, then you will find much value in this. And of course, feel free to send us an email if you think something more need to be added into it. Now let me talk about the mobile view, because we do have a the Jyotish portal is compatible with various devices, including the mobile devices. But let me discuss about the issues that happen with the mobile devices. And I'll show you also that what happens when you open the Jyotish portal on the mobile device, or for that matter, if you open any Jyotish web-based application on a mobile device, it creates a lot of what is typically called as a mobile constraint, because the screen size is small, and when you are trying to read a horoscope in a mobile device, then there are likely to be several mistakes, because then you are scrolling back and forth for the information. Not everything is available to you at one glance. And I have even seen many tutorials on KP astrology where everything is done on the mobile device. I find that this is a very lousy approach, and this is these teachers are trying to degrade the whole learning experience. I don't know how they can even teach the KP students on a mobile device. They should actually discourage, and it has to be done properly. Not a good approach. Very lousy approach, and it's the whole learning experience is so confusing and it is so poor. I don't know what kind of value they get for their money. So let's take a look at the how the help what thing happens on the mobile device. So when you open the Jyotish portal on your mobile device, then it's going to look somewhat like this. And later in one of the videos, uh, I will tell you how to create a home screen icon on your mobile devices, so that you don't have to kind of a bookmark, or you don't have to open your Safari or the Chrome browser and keep on typing jyotishportal.com. It's not needed. In most of the mobile devices, now we have an option where you can actually create an icon, just like you create an icon for any other app. That way you just click on it and it will take you to the Jyotish portal. When you hit on the show button, you see this is how it's going to appear. Now what happens is that if you're doing a Parashari old astrology, where you are only concerned with the Lagna chart, then it is fine, because in the mobile devices all you need is to look at the Lagna chart and maybe at the Dasha. So for that it is fine. But if you are doing Krishnamurti Paddhati, or even in the Parashari astrology, if you are doing a Shodashwar reading, then you need to have a lot of information handy at your disposal. Otherwise, you will be just scrolling back and forth the way I am doing it. Right? You will scroll back and forth, and in the process, you are going to make some mistakes. And especially when you are offering some kind of a reading to someone, you have to be serious. You have to be professional. You don't have to take it very casually and use a method or an interface where the mistakes are likely to happen. I don't want to discourage too much on it, but based on my experience, I'm just sharing my thoughts that mobile is not the right uh, device for teaching KP astrology or doing KP astrology. Jyotish portal is compatible. If you want to look for some information, some immediate information, then you can look immediately. So that's not an issue. So now we discuss about this the new changes and what are the constraints in the mobile view. So I'm going to talk about the Horary and print option in another upcoming videos. There are certain things where I want to draw your attention towards the Horary section and even the print section also. There is something in the print section that I don't think anybody has done, and we have done it for the first time. So when I explain it to you, then you will find some value even in the print option. So that I will do in the upcoming video. Now, before I conclude this video, see all these changes that we do, we constantly need support from the KP community. So here is an email that I recently got from Santosh from Hyderabad. I have put that email for you to take a look. This is such a nice email. He's such a kind-hearted person. I don't know him. I just saw this email, and I felt very nice about it. That he has extended or he has offered his help. So we need people in the IT side, people who can do testing. We need people who can contribute some content to us, blog. And if you have any kind of a creative skill, even if you are not an astrologer, the Jyotish portal's scope is very different. So if you have any kind of creative skills, then you can contact us, and we'll be more than happy to make a note about your skills. And in the meanwhile, of course, any new feature or option suggestion that you have, feel free to let us know. So I was very happy to read this email from Santosh, and thank you, Santosh, if you are watching this video. So that's all in this session, and I will see you with another video